The ability to share. The more you give, the more you become. The golden rule says, if you want this big flow coming from lots of people, it says what? First 3 words. The guy says, well, about the best I can do is take care of myself, though. Well, that's a poor man talking. The master teacher said, here's the key to wealth and fortune. He who wishes to be great, the greatest, Muhammad Ali notwithstanding, follows me to danger, to the next seminar. He comes this time with his tape recorder tapes. It was back before we had the cassette tape program going, and he took some more notes. He and Rosie are there saying, this is really the greatest stuff. And he comes up to me and says, remember me? I said, yeah, Wayne, I remember you. He said, this is great stuff. I tell you what, I'm going to get rich too. I'm going to help a lot of people. And he's just bubbling. He said, where's your next seminar? I said, Phoenix. He said, I'll be there. He follows me to Phoenix. Once in a while, find somebody that just does everything. That's what I did when I met Shoff. Tell me when to get up. Tell me when to go to bed. Tell me what to do. My plan hasn't been working. I'm willing to follow yours right to the detail. Whatever. The ability to share and sharing now can become a major part of your life process and life progress. Sharing is a unique human capacity. Everybody has the ability to share. How much you share, of course, is a matter of attitude and the personal conclusions you've come to about your life and what to do about it. But sharing is unique. Here's what's unique about sharing. The more you give, the more you become. It's one of the paradoxes of life. You give away, but you become bigger. It looks like if you would share, you become less. But see, that's not true. It's one of those unique life processes. It's like one of those questions you ask when you have your first child. You love it dearly. You say, well, if I have another child, do I have to divide my love in half? And the answer is surprisingly no. From somewhere comes this unbelievable capacity to love the other one as much as you did the first one. What if you have 3, 4, 5 children now? Are each one of them going to get less and less and less of the capacity of your ability to love and care? And the answer is, strangely, no. As the demand and the opportunity increase, it seems as though your capacity grows and what you give away seems to multiply. It's one of the mysteries and the uniqueness of life. So sharing makes you bigger. Now here's one of the reasons to share. Share on purpose so that you become bigger. Not only for the effect it will have on other people, but for the effect it will have on you. See, what we want to learn to be is intelligently selfish. The golden rule is a way to be intelligently selfish. The golden is your next seminar. I said Phoenix. He said, I'll be there. He follows me to Phoenix, sits there again, takes some more notes. This third seminar, well, to make a long story short, Wayne Barnes is now a multimillionaire. He's done extremely well and has become one of my very, very dear friends. Wayne probably has one of the finest libraries in the world that I know of, especially somebody that age, 33 years old. He got the book Think and Grow Rich. He got his journal started. I mean, he did everything. Just followed everything. You just once in a while find somebody that just does everything. That's what I did when I met Shell. Tell me when to get up. Tell me when to go to bed. Tell me what to do. My plan hasn't been working. I'm willing to follow yours right to the detail. Whatever. And Wayne Barnes was one of those people that just did it all, and now he's wealthy. When he was building his home, just before he had it finished, just about finished, he took me up on the 3rd floor, takes me on a tour of his home, and he said, Jim, I can't believe it. I've become wealthy. We've done well, haven't we, the last 10, 12 years? I said, we sure have, Wayne. He said, I got to thank you for all of this. By the way, I got to show you something. He shows me this unique-looking room up on the 3rd floor overlooking the city. He said, how do you like the view from here? I said, it's spectacular. He said, how do you like this room? I said, it's fabulous. He said, do you like the way it's furnished? I said, it's unusual. He said, well, you might like to know that's your room. Whenever you come to Phoenix now, here's where you got to stay. You got to stay with me. I just want to show my gratitude for all the stuff I've learned. Now I'm wealthy, and I've got you now a place in my house up on the 3rd floor, specially furnished. So see, that's part of the reward of sharing. I got me a room in Phoenix, right? I'm telling you, if you'll share, you'll get you a room. And that's not the end of the story. I just got a card. I wonder if I put it in here somewhere. I just got a card from Wayne Barnes. It says, Dear Jim, I called you when I was in town in late April. We just sailed from Jamaica to the Bahamas, and next is Nassau. Will you join us soon? Wayne called me a few months ago to come down to the Balboa Bay Club. And when I got down there, he said, I got to show you something. I said, Wayne, what have you got now? He said, you got to see my ship. Unbelievable. He walks me out on this 73-foot sailing schooner. And this is the picture of it right here, called Windhaven. It's a famous 73-foot catch, neat ship. And he said, I've got me a sailing ship. I said, what are you going to do with this thing, right? There's not much water around Phoenix. No, he said. Rosie and I have got the bug about sailing. We've got us a captain. We've hired us a captain. I said, incredible. He finds his captain and introduces him to me. Oars was his name, which I thought was a good name for a captain. Oars. I said, Wayne, what are you going to do? He said, look, Rosie and I and the two kids, we're going to take off a couple of years and we're going to sail around the world. He said, you talked to me about lifestyle and said this is just part of our lifestyle and I want you to join us, do a little sailing with us in the next couple of years. So I promised him I would. He shows me the ship, and as we go through, he shows me all the furnishings and everything, right? And then he shows me this room. He says, how do you like this room? I said, it's fabulous. Do you like what's in it? I said, it's fabulous. He said, that's your room. So I got me a room on a ship. How lucky can you get? See, if you will share, no telling what will come back your way. If you'll share, be concerned about helping somebody else with their language and help them with their lifestyle. Help them with their philosophical conclusions. Help them with learning better the taste of life and the uniqueness of life. Help them with their financial plan. Ask a few questions. Wayne Barnes is one of those people who shares. Wayne gives away the book Think and Grow Rich, and As a Man Thinketh. Now that I've got mine, I'm sure he'll probably give mine away, but he buys them by the box. As a man thinketh and think and grow rich, he buys them by the box. And every person he meets that he takes a liking to, he says, hey, I got a book for you. He writes a little note in it and hands it to them. And now there must be thousands of these books circulating around that Wayne Barnes has given away. Part of his way of just sharing, part of his way of passing along something that he's come into possession with that he thought was valuable. But see, that's what can happen to you if you share. If you share what all of us want to do in consciousness and awareness is become bigger. This cup will not hold a gallon. Why? It's too small. What if you poured a gallon all around this cup? See, it still will only hold this much because it's too small. Now see, some people are so small in their thinking and their awareness that you could pour happiness all around them and they're not going to get any. They're too little in their thinking, their awareness, and their acceptance. It doesn't matter how much happiness is available, they're not going to get very much. You're not going to get much happiness out of the next experience if you don't grow and expand. One of the best ways to expand your consciousness is by sharing. Touch somebody else's life, touch somebody else's experience, give somebody else some information, pass along a book or a recommendation, or, share what you've got. Sure enough, your capacity grows and grows. Now, when joy is passed out, you get 3 times as much as you used to. Somebody wonders how come you're happier this year than you were last year, and it's simply because you're growing. Happiness is always available, but you can only have what you can hold. Prosperity is always available, but you can only keep what you can hold. So what you want to do is create this capacity, this awareness, this growth experience, so that when joy, happiness, prosperity, and unique things are passed out, you get to hold more. Now, you must also understand that you can also hold more sadness. But sadness is a life experience. You can hold more disappointment, but disappointment is a life experience. But see, now, with the depth of awareness and understanding, you hold it, and it becomes not bitter, but a commodity, an experience. It becomes valuable. When you talk to the next person going through difficult times, you can reach them with your experience because you've been there. You've tasted it. We all want to grow in our awareness, taste, and capacity. A major thing to do when this weekend is over is to deliberately figure ways to share. There are a lot of things to share. Share your money, share your time, share your knowledge, share your feelings. Don't be afraid to share those. That kind of sharing has incredible value, and people who share with us see what great value that is. My daughters and I are very close. Linda especially calls me constantly. She was going to take a trip. She said, Daddy, I wanted to call you in case I didn't get to call the next 2 or 3 days just to tell you. You happen to be talking to your greatest fan. She says, have you gotten any applause lately? I said, well, I don't know. She says, well, here's some applause, and on the telephone she's going like this. She said, Just remember that when you take your next trip, you have somebody who cares. And remember the applause. And I love you dearly. Just the words, the actions, the sharing, and the capacity. See, that's what fills your cup. That's what gives you this incredible uniqueness of living, knowing what it's like to be human in all respects. People who share are incredible. One of the most important things to share is your philosophy. Your perception of life is bound to help somebody. If you show somebody your viewpoint, your vantage point, sure enough, it's going to be revealing to somebody else. You say, here's what I've been thinking about life, about activity, about money, about commerce, and about lifestyle. Here's what I'm thinking. If you share that with somebody, sure enough, somebody's going to come back and say, remember that breakfast we had, the lunch we had, or when we got together that day 3 or 4 months ago, and you talked about those things. I've never forgotten that. In fact, I've started to have a seminar of 1,000. Start with one.